What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're working on this Jeep Comanche LS swap project. We've got probably 3 weeks or so to get this done. So we've made a bunch of progress. If you haven't seen already, go check out those videos. So let me show you guys what we're working on today. Last video, we got our taillight harnesses figured out, wired up, but what we found out was our MJ taillights have a different sized plug or bulb than our YJ. So these are the plugs here. And apparently most people just Dremel these out a little bit to accept the newer style plug and the bigger cartridge style bulb instead of going back to the prehistoric style. So what I'm gonna do is take the Dremel right now and Dremel these out so that I can get the newer style bulbs in there, which is what we have on the trucks. It has the newer plugs on there. There we go. So Dremeled these out. Now there's 3 different kinds of sockets, but they all fit. So that goes in, they turn, they lock in place, and we're good to go. Check it out. We got John in the house. Finally. He showed up when all the hard part was done.
Showed up late.
So he's gonna show us the different light action. I'm gonna go operate it.
Alright, so check this out. So these lights are crusty, but they do work, and that's what matters.
Alright, call up, what do you want to see?
Let's see running lights. Nice. Brake lights. Brake lights work. Turn signals. Sheesh. And reverse.
Yeah,
oh, we can't do reverse. We're never going back. Yeah, we still gotta polish these out. I'm gonna try to. I think we could save them, but they're pretty crusty.
They're unsavable. They're like J. Cole.
He doesn't think we can save them.
Don't save it. They don't want to be saved.
Put it down in the comments if you think I could save them. I think I can.
Nah, that's about as crusty as it gets.
You don't know.
That's
you
Jeep
don't know.
worthy.
It is a Jeep. That's why it's like that.
This thing looks better than that. All right, so taillights are in. We got a bunch of stuff to tackle. We're kind of gonna be all over the place today. What we're gonna do next is, I'm still waiting on a bunch of parts to arrive. So while I wait for those parts, we can do some other things. So I have a ton of additional wiring. I don't really feel like going through it. At some point in time, if we wanna clean things up, it would probably make sense to go through some of the wiring and strip out all the way back to the front what we don't need, like what's excess, because there's a lot of stuff like a hatch, a rear wiper motor, third brake light, like all sorts of stuff that was on this that doesn't apply to this. But for now, I'm just gonna tidy this stuff up and kind of just button it up just so it's not in our way and it looks a little more presentable than it does now. So let me tidy some of that stuff up. Also, we're gonna have to get into place our wiring for our fuel pump. So we can probably run a dedicated wire for that just so we've got enough amperage to our 450. We're gonna be running, I think, a 450 or 470 Walbro pump in this. So we're gonna upgrade the pump. So we got a lot of stuff to do. Let me button this up and then we'll move on. All right, so we got most of our wiring all buttoned up. Nothing too crazy, but like I said, just tidied it up a little bit. And then what I'm gonna do next is our fuel pump wiring is there, but since we're gonna be running a bigger, larger fuel pump, I'm gonna go ahead and this wire from our Terminator X, it actually triggers a relay. So this is what kicks on our fuel pump. You can actually run a fuel pump off of this, but it's supposed to be only like up to a 15 amp. So just to be safe, we're gonna run this to a relay and the relay is gonna kick on an amount of relay over there and then wire the relay directly to the battery. This will kick on our relay and then we'll have relayed power going from there just through the floorboard over there over to our tank that's gonna be right behind there. All right, so I got my relay and I've got my wiring and I'm just trying to map out how I'm gonna get through here into the back. And in doing so, there's a bunch of extra holes here. One of them was for the hood latch cable, so I put it in. It's kind of weird on Jeep. It goes to here and there's a latch on both sides. So that's there, but one of the things is with the newer dash on this MJ platform, the latch has to go a little bit lower. So originally it mounted in this little pocket, but then on the newer ones, the XJ, they mount it here. So it's below the dash. So I gotta essentially drill a couple holes and put this guy down there and put that there. So these two are gonna go here, and then there's one other bolt that goes in the back. These are the kind of sheet metal screws. It doesn't have anything formal, but if I still have 3 of them, they just go right here. So let me get this installed. All right, so hood latch cable is mounted, bolted, and now let's go ahead and get our power wire running for our fuel pump. All right, so just finished soldering everything up. So we've got a 30 amp inline fuse. I'm just waiting for some loop terminals to show up so that I can put that direct to the battery. That runs through, down through a grommet, across our door sill here, and then we've got our relay. I mounted it right here, and then that is triggered by this green wire coming from our Terminator X. And then I've got another nice gauge wire going down through our grommet. It's gonna go out into our tank. So I've got our relayed positive wire going to our pump, and then today hopefully our pump and stuff will show up. This is the old pump. Also, I'm not sure just yet on our fuel indicator, so the level sense. You gotta remember we're running newer electronics, the XJ stuff, so as far as our gas gauge, and then the older fuel pickup from like the 87 or 88 or whatever the heck this thing is, I can't even remember now. But that might be a different resistance for the actual fuel pickup. So that might be a different resistance for the fuel indication. So we'll see there whether it'll be in spec or not, but those wires will be in this bundle going, of course, up to our fuel gauge. So it's gonna be 2 wires in here there for our fuel gauge, and then 2 wires are gonna be for the original pump wiring. So I only really need a couple wires out of this guy, and we'll pass them through, and we'll see what we got. Okay, next up, I don't know if this is gonna be long enough, but I do need to figure out a cable for our throttle body to our pedal. So let me just see if this is the right length. This actually came out of the SST build when we converted to drive-by-wire, and this was on the old V8 Magnum. See if it works, we'll repurpose it. If not, I might try to get a different cable, but let me figure this out, see if I can use it, and then I'll go from there. All right, so I've got our intake manifold over here, and I'm just trying to sort some stuff out because there's a lot of stuff missing, and there's no hardware with this thing other than the bolts and some fittings that can screw into the back. That one doesn't go there, obviously, but there's like this plastic T, I'm assuming goes here for a brake booster and whatnot, and another vacuum port on the side. But this, I found this little tab here. This was not on it. I found it in the bag with the little screw, and I'm guessing that's going to be for that style of map sensor. I'm not a GM guy, I'm just learning. So that looks like it goes in there with the rubber grommet. That's going to be our map sensor. This little tab guy holds that there. I see also 2 screw holes here. I'm thinking we can probably put our bracket for our throttle cable there. So I'm figuring that out. Also, our rails are completely loose, and we didn't receive any hardware with those, so I got to figure out how to get this hole to mount to there. So I'll probably have to make up some sort of little L brackets, and then this hole to here. So that's what I'm working on right now, trying to figure this all out. So let me keep messing with it, and I'll show you guys what I come up with. All right, so right here, I finished making the tabs for the fuel rails. So there they are right there. All right, John is up and moving.
Trying to get this axle out so we can throw that thing in there.
What's that thing?
That's Chrysler 8 1/4 axle. Hopefully stronger than this thing.
Yeah, it's gotta be better than this. Look at these pencils over here. So we're gonna throw the 8 1/4 in there. It came out of this. John yanked it out. He used his John strength on it, and we're gonna see what the deal is. We didn't see any like I don't know. Did you find any like true DIYs? I saw a lot of people talking about it, but I never saw like an actual DIY on this.
I didn't really research it, to be honest.
All right, I don't know if we're gonna edit that out, but probably not. I'll leave it in. I looked at it and I saw a lot of people say that you had to move the perches and that the shock mounts were different. Shock mounts aren't a big deal. Although
the shock mount is on that plate that holds the U-bolts.
Oh, I see, yeah. And then the other thing too is the no, it is
over the leaf spring. That one's under the leaf.
Yeah, that's true. So
we have to flip around.
yeah, so that one is on the other side as well. So it's got those differences going on. So we'll see what happens. Probably gonna have to. We're gonna kind of, once he gets that one out there, we'll measure the two and we'll show you guys. But we will probably end up grinding all these brackets off, same way we did with the SST, if you guys followed that project. So yeah, you can see the shock mounts are in a completely different spot. So we'll see what happens. I managed to see a old worn out sticker here. It's got 355s in the back of it, so not a terrible gear ratio either. She gonna have some get up and goes.
You all right?
Yep. All right, so the old pencil axle is out. Thanks to the meth cart, we carted that thing out, and then we've got the new 8 1/4 Chrysler 8 1/4 on the meth cart, and we are going to grind off these brackets and the shock ones as well. So we're going to take off our perches and the shock mounts, grind those all off, and then we can get this up there and start getting measuring and see where we want our new perches to be. The other thing too is these are going to be on the bottom because this thing has an axle flip compared to that one. So we got a bit of work ahead of us, but nothing we can't handle. We did the exact same thing on the SST. Okay, so John went ahead and he removed all of the brackets from our axle. So we've got our plates here. Now it's just a matter of getting this back in there and seeing exactly where we want this all to line up. And then we can start to put our U-bolts back in, and then we can tack our plates back in place, but probably not until we get the rest of the drivetrain kind of finalized, because we can mess with our pinion angle. So for now, we'll probably just throw it in and kind of get our left to right and get our axle centered in the chassis. Another thing that just showed up was, if you guys recall, I was waiting for the fuel pickup. So I got that and a bunch of parts. Let me show you guys stuff that just arrived. So we got a bunch of stuff through Amazon. So I got the fuel pickup. So this is this one here, and we're gonna upgrade the pump on it. I just needed the actual assembly, the pickup that goes into that tank. Over here, I got plugs. So I got brand new NGK plugs. So we got 8 of them. I needed some ring terminals, so we got those. What else did I get? We got a oil pressure sensor, I believe this one is. Yep. So we got oil pressure sensor. I got a few fittings for our, I think this is for the transmission. And then I got a few more for our radiator, so the cooler side. And this is just that sock and also the ring or retaining clip. What else did I get? I got some more heat shrink, so a bunch of parts so that we can do this. Let's see how this pickup fits. So let's make sure it fits into that tank and see if this locking ring is gonna work for us as well. Okay boys, I was gonna test fit this, but another thing to add to the list. I never really looked inside the tank. I just saw it from the exterior and said, yeah, looks like a fuel tank. I don't know, the exterior didn't look too bad, but I looked inside and I said, hell no. Look at that. That is not gonna do it, boys. That thing is so crusty in there. Look at all that sludge. So absolutely not. I'm gonna have to order a new tank. Otherwise, we're just asking for trouble on that one. So it looks like it should be the right unit, but definitely gonna have to order a new tank. So yeah, let's get a new tank on order. It's as simple as that. All right, so that is not bad at all, boys. I found a Dorman fuel tank, $103 brand new. That's cheaper than Rock Auto. So I'm gonna order this guy right here, and it'll be here on Friday. So 2-day shipping. Let's go. All right, John, tell the people what you just installed.
So I put this motor in it.
Damn.
Back here on these LS's, they have an oil pressure sensor. These will break all the time, so make sure you have some extras.
Damn.
So we put a new one in.
Are you claiming they always break?
Yeah. I mean, we had the 6.0 that was
That's
broken.
true.
This one was broken.
Yeah.
These are trash motors.
Jeez, people are gonna be mad in them
Yeah,
comments.
it's a
So
joke.
it plugged right into there. So we've got an oil pressure sensor. Honestly, we were just taking inventory on a lot of the fittings and stuff that we need.
Yeah.
So yeah, we needed some fittings for there. We're gonna do, if you guys are curious, we're doing a -8, so it's 8 AN feed, and then we're gonna do a 6 AN return. And we needed some fittings to be able to accomplish that. And what are the fittings? The radiator ones we had to do.
Radiators, yeah.
Oh my, we're drowning in fittings. And then we also want to convert our tank.
You
Yeah,
had to jump that right there.
yeah, we showed that in the last video.
Okay.
The thing we have to do next though is we have to loop that through our neutral safety.
Yep.
Just so we have a little bit of safety. It's not gonna be that safe of a Jeep, but a little bit of a safety would be okay.
We get that wobble.
So we got that. We got the fuel tank ordered. That's on order. Lots of parts are just, we're kind of waiting for some stuff. I guess we can put in that tank just to, or no, let's get at some other things. Our ring terminal showed up. Let's get the rings on. Maybe we'll just see what the radiator looks like just for fun, and we'll go from there. All right, so we put in our ring terminal. We've got our inline fuse. We got a 30 amp, and then I also need the ring terminal for over here. So our relay's mounted, and we put the ring terminal on to our ground, so that's all ready to go. So a bunch of stuff we just been knocking out on this thing, you guys, but I want to get this video out for you guys. Me and John are doing our best. Me and John are doing our best to get this done in this heat. It's like what, 110?
I don't even know.
It's like, it's 100 degrees without humidity. So
The past couple of days have been so brutal in the shop, but we're trying.
We're like kind of working weird hours. We're trying to work like crack it on till noon, and then like do our editing and whatever else we got to do for the day from like noon to 5, and then come out when the sun starts going down, because it's like brutal out here.
Yeah.
We are going to be trying to get AC at some point, but that's another story. So next video, we're probably going to wait till tomorrow and hang the axle. We'll get all the brackets situated. We still got to figure out a windshield.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try and take the windshield out. We bought the tool to take it out of that thing, so that's another maybe fun video. Maybe you guys can watch us snap. Maybe you guys can watch us break a windshield.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. We're gonna try to save it, but
Yeah.
if it doesn't work out, we'll probably just laugh. It might be comedy for you guys. So
And we're also doing the headliner on the SST, just to finalize the interior.
yeah, we got that going, and we still have. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to do it. We have a full front end conversion to do the SST, so we have better brakes and everything, because we're gonna be driving that all the way to Mo Party.
Yep.
And I'm gonna continue to remind you guys, we'll be at LS Fest,
Yep.
and we'll be at Mo Party. We got a full booth set up. John just finalized it.
Once we get it in, we'll set it up so you guys can see the booth and what to expect at Holly.
Yeah, that way you guys can find us, and once we get there, of course, we'll be
We're gonna have merch, we're gonna have some shirts, some key tag stickers, so be ready for that.
all kinds of stuff. So anyways, that's the update for this episode, you guys. If you guys enjoy it, thumbs up, and we'll see you guys in the next video.